Today, we're diving into a story that's been stirring intense discussion across Europe and beyond. Denmark has once again stepped into the spotlight after making a new move that many are calling bold, risky, and highly controversial. In this video-style explanation, we're going to break down what happened, why it matters, and how it could shape Denmark's political landscape, its relationships within Europe, and its image on the global stage. We'll look at public reaction, political pressure, the historical context behind the decision, and what Denmark might face next. So let's get started and unpack the full picture. Denmark is no stranger to taking firm political positions, but this latest decision has pushed the country into a new wave of scrutiny. The move has triggered debate not only inside Denmark, but also across European institutions, neighboring governments, and international observers. While some argue that Denmark is simply acting in its own national interest, others believe the step taken will ignite long-term backlash that the government may struggle to contain. The controversy has grown quickly because the decision touches sensitive issues tied to policy, public values, and the delicate balance between national sovereignty and international cooperation. To understand why Denmark's move is being labeled as controversial, we first need to understand how Denmark typically positions itself on global matters. Denmark often promotes itself as a country led by fairness, responsibility, and progressive ideals. It has a long-standing reputation for strong democratic values, a commitment to human rights, and solid cooperation within the European Union. However, even countries known for balanced governance can take actions that surprise people both inside and outside their borders. This new decision stands out because it seems to challenge some of the principles Denmark is usually associated with, and that contrast is a big part of why the reaction has been so intense. Reactions from Danish citizens have been split. There is a group that fully supports the decision, arguing that Denmark is doing what is necessary to maintain its stability, security, or national priorities. Supporters say the move shows strong leadership, and that sometimes tough choices must be made even if they attract criticism. They claim that Denmark cannot always follow the expectations of larger political groups or international bodies, and that the government's responsibility is first and foremost to protect the interests of its own population. This side of the debate praises the government for not backing down from criticism. On the other hand, there is a large portion of the population that feels Denmark may have gone too far. They argue that the new move could damage Denmark's international reputation and weaken the trust that other countries place in its leadership. Critics worry that this decision may create divisions within Danish society, especially if the move affects vulnerable groups or goes against widely accepted social values. Many believe the government should have taken a more measured approach or engaged in wider consultation before taking action. The emotional tone of the debate shows just how sensitive this issue is to many people. Outside Denmark, the political reaction has also been strong. Several European countries have expressed concerns about the potential consequences this move could have across the region. European institutions tend to emphasize unity, consistency, and cooperation, and any action that disrupts this balance quickly becomes a focus of discussion. Denmark's decision may put pressure on neighboring countries to respond, either by supporting Denmark or publicly disagreeing with it. These diplomatic tensions could grow more serious if the situation continues to escalate in the coming months. One important part of this controversy is the timing. Denmark made this move at a moment when Europe is already dealing with multiple challenges. Political disagreements, economic pressures, and growing divisions among member states have all made the region more sensitive to unilateral decisions. When a country acts independently on an issue that affects the wider region, it can intensify existing tensions. Some analysts believe Denmark's timing was intentional, while others think it may add unnecessary complexity to an already difficult environment. The government, however, remains firm in defending its decision. Officials have stated that the move is based on careful analysis and a long-term strategy designed to benefit Denmark's future. They argue that the backlash comes from misunderstandings, political agendas, or resistance to change. According to the government's position, taking bold steps is sometimes the only way to move forward, even if it means facing criticism initially. They remain confident that the benefits will become clearer over time. Despite government confidence, many experts warn that Denmark may experience consequences in several areas. One of the main concerns is diplomatic fallout. Countries that feel affected may reconsider their partnerships or cooperation with Denmark. Even small shifts in diplomatic relationships can have long-lasting effects, especially in a region where political cooperation is essential. Analysts suggest that Denmark may need to spend significant time rebuilding trust with some of its partners if tensions continue to rise. Another potential issue is economic impact. Controversial decisions often influence foreign investment, tourism, and international business relations. Investors typically avoid environments that seem unpredictable or politically unstable. If the controversial move creates a perception that Denmark is stepping away from its usual policies, some businesses may reconsider their involvement in the country. While Denmark's economy is strong and resilient, even small disruptions can influence growth, employment, and long-term planning. Public response inside Denmark has also created pressure on the government to provide more clarity. Many citizens want additional details, explanations, or assurances regarding how this decision will affect their daily lives. People are asking questions about long-term outcomes, the reasoning behind the decision, and what the government's next steps will be. The debate has sparked intense conversations on social media, where opinions are being shared rapidly and often emotionally. This public dialogue has made the controversy even more visible. The media has also played a major role in shaping the narrative. Some outlets have framed Denmark's decision as bold leadership, while others have painted it as reckless and damaging. The differences in coverage have influenced public opinion, leading to more division and confusion. As the story continues to develop, media outlets inside and outside Denmark are keeping a close eye on reactions from political leaders, experts, and ordinary citizens. Looking back at Denmark's political history, controversial moves are not entirely new. The country has previously taken strong positions that attracted attention, debate, and criticism. However, Denmark has usually managed to balance its decisions with diplomatic communication and cooperation. This latest controversy stands out because the reaction has been much stronger and the implications seem more far-reaching. The historical context adds another layer to the ongoing conversation about whether this new move aligns with Denmark's identity. While tensions continue to rise, one key question remains: what happens next? Denmark will likely face increased scrutiny from European institutions and international organizations. There may be calls for dialogue, negotiations, or policy adjustments. Some countries may push Denmark to reverse or modify its decision. Others may take advantage of the situation to push forward their own political agendas. Whatever the case, Denmark will need to navigate the situation carefully to avoid deeper conflict. Some observers believe the controversy could actually benefit Denmark in the long run. They argue that taking strong action forces important discussions that might otherwise be ignored. According to this view, Denmark's move could bring new attention to issues that require change. It may also inspire other countries to evaluate their own policies and consider reforms. This perspective sees the backlash as a natural part of progress rather than a sign of failure. Still, others warn that Denmark must be cautious. Controversial decisions can easily spiral into larger problems if not managed properly. Governments must balance strength with diplomacy, especially in a global environment where decisions in one country can influence many others. If Denmark fails to communicate effectively or ignores growing concerns, the backlash could intensify and become more difficult to control. As the situation unfolds, Denmark's political leaders will be under pressure to demonstrate leadership, provide transparency, and maintain public trust. How they respond in the coming weeks and months will shape the country's future direction. The controversy is already a significant moment in Denmark's political timeline, and the long-term effects could be felt for years. What makes this issue particularly interesting is the mix of internal and external pressures. Inside Denmark, the government must address public opinion, economic concerns, and political opposition. Outside Denmark, it must navigate European relations, international expectations, and global reactions. The intersection of these pressures creates a complex environment that requires strategic thinking and careful decision-making. As discussions continue, analysts are trying to predict possible scenarios. Some believe Denmark will stand firm and refuse to back down, emphasizing sovereignty and independence. Others think Denmark may eventually soften its position to reduce tension and restore stability. There is also a possibility that the controversy fades with time if other global issues become more urgent. However, predicting political outcomes is never simple, especially when emotions are high and opinions are divided. Despite the uncertainty, one thing is clear. Denmark's decision has become a defining moment that will be remembered for its boldness and controversy. The country is now at a crossroads, and the decisions made from this point forward will determine how it manages the backlash and moves forward. Whether this moment becomes a successful turning point or a long-lasting political challenge remains to be seen. The controversy also highlights the broader challenges facing European countries today. Balancing national interests with regional cooperation is becoming increasingly difficult, especially as political and social divisions grow. Denmark's move is one example of how complex these decisions can be and how quickly they can influence international relations. The situation is a reminder that even stable countries must navigate an ever-changing political landscape. For many people watching from the outside, the situation offers an important lesson about the complexity of modern governance. Decisions are rarely black and white, and even well-intended actions can lead to unexpected consequences. Denmark's experience shows how important communication, transparency, and planning are when dealing with sensitive issues. It also demonstrates how public opinion plays a powerful role in shaping political outcomes. As we follow the situation, it's important to remember that controversies like this often take time to fully develop. What seems like a crisis today may look different in the future as new information emerges. Negotiations take place and the political environment shifts. Denmark's next steps will be crucial in determining how the story ends. For now, Denmark faces a challenging road ahead. The backlash is strong, the debate is intense, and the world is watching. But Denmark has navigated difficult political moments before, and it may find a way to turn this controversial move into an opportunity for growth, reform, or stronger leadership. Time will reveal how the situation unfolds and what long-term effects the decision will have on the country and the region. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more updates as this story continues to develop.